everybody, it's Dina Rico with the Creativity Cave, and I'm so excited because we are about to kick off our second celebration of the Stampin' Up! Year, and I'm very excited. The celebration event is going to start on August 3rd, which is Tuesday, and I have a little preview of some of my favorite things in the catalog for you today. All right, so to start with, I've got two amazing cards, and they feature two of our different celebration sets. The first is called Delicate Dahlias, and I love this set. It's got everything in it. It's got the beautiful distinctive stamps. Sorry, I couldn't think of that word at first. And then it's got beautiful outline stamps. So depending on how you like to color, everything is covered in this set, which is really awesome. This set is free with a $100 purchase starting on Tuesday, August 3rd. We also have this other set, Textures and Frames, and I'm a sucker for graphic-y images just like this. You can make really quick and easy cards with it, and I will show you how I made this one. So let's get started. My first card is going to be this Delicate Dahlias, and like I said, I just love this set. Of course, I'm always a sucker for flowers. I'm going to be using a card base that is early espresso, and we'll give this a good crease with my bone folder. And then I've got two panels. This piece of crumb cake I have embossed with the bark embossing folder for some really fun texture. And then I'm going to layer that on a piece of crushed curry cardstock. That's 4 by 5 1/4. This is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So we'll put these two together. And then attach to our card. Okay, next up, I've got these labels. These are from a new set of dies that are coming. And I'm going to stamp them in some crushed curry ink on my crushed curry card. I'm just grabbing my grit paper here to stamp on. All right. So I love adding a little tone-on-tone effect to add some texture to my stamp. So I'm going to take that large Dahlia stamp out of this one. And, oh, that looks great. I'll stamp it on here probably 3 times to cover that background of my tag up. And then I'm going to take this and sponge the edges just to really make sure it stands out. And you can use a sponge dauber for this. Okay, there we go. That looks great. Next up, I'm going to take the smaller tag and stamp that little flower image. And this one is just so pretty. So we'll put that right up here. And that looks fantastic. Now, one little word of advice. If you're working with these stamps and you don't get the detail that you want, try working the ink into your pad. I like to use a spoon for that. And if you just rub that ink into your ink pad, it's not going to remove the ink, but it's going to keep it from all pooling on the surface, because we store these upside down. And in a case of these detailed images, we want to be able to see that detail. And to give you an example, this stamped okay, not the best, but now that I've done this, you can see it looks even better there. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with our card. I've also got the small tag, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment on that in some early espresso ink. Okay, so we'll just stamp that on here. Like so. You inspire me. So perfect. All right. Now I want to put these together, and I'm just going to take and pop my tag up like this. And I think I'll even put one in the middle there. Just centered right on my tag. Then I'll bring my card back into the mix. And on this, I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon in the background. I've got this gorgeous, I think, yeah, faux suede trim. It's really pretty ribbon. And I'm just going to do a little zigzag just to add a little touch of that ribbon to my card. Not too crazy. Give that a cut. And to adhere this, I'm actually going to put a little adhesive on the back of my tag. And then we'll position that zigzag of ribbon on here. And then we'll attach this to our card. There we go. Oh yes, so awesome. Okay, just making sure that's kind of stuck in there nicely. And then I will take and put some dimensionals on here and attach this to my card. We'll pop up that sentiment right over the top. And, oops, there it is. And then the finishing touch is kind of my favorite. I've actually got a couple finishing touches for you. So there's that. We want to put a gem on there because, I mean, hello. So I'm going to take one of my elegant faceted gems, and really any of these will work. I used my clear one, which I loved. Let's see, do I have a big clear one? Yes, I do. There's one right there. I'm just going to position that right in the center. Oh, that looks fantastic. And then my final touch is probably my favorite touch, which is to spritz this. Now you can use an early espresso marker, but honestly, you can't really tell the difference between black and early espresso without looking really close. So I'm just going to use black. And the reason I love black so much is because it is a marker I can buy singly in the catalog. And when I did that, you can see I've got some nice little speckles on here. Now I also wanted to stamp on the inside of my card. So I've got a 4x5 1/4 crumb cake panel, and I'm just going to take the stamp that I was using, that small bloom, and I'm going to clean it off real quick because I want to stamp this in just some crumb cake ink going down the side of my card. Okay, that was a little wet from my pad, so let's, oh, that looks fantastic. And then this can just go on the inside of my card. Now, I thought this was a really great idea, so I actually reworked my card and want to show you another version of it where I actually did this on the front of the card before I embossed. I stamped those flowers down the side too. So you can get the same effect on the front of the card, and I kind of like the look of that. So it's up to you which way you do that. Okay, next up, I've got this really bright, fun, happy card. And this card is going to feature one of the stamp sets in the upcoming holiday catalog called Thinking, Thanks, and Peace. And I really like this because it's got just a little bit of everything. And if that boo is not the cutest thing ever, I don't know what is. All right, so let me show you this card. I'm going to start by folding my card base of polished pink in half. And then we're going to use that other Sale-a-bration set that I showed you, the textures and frames. And this is such a great kind of background stamp set to create all kinds of fun looks. So I'll take and stamp the background of my card. And I'm just gonna turn my grid paper over and use that big circle with some polished pink ink on my polished pink cardstock. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp that kind of one circle on each end because we'll cover the rest up. You could go across if you want, but like I said, we'll cover the majority of that up. Now I'm going to start with this panel. I'm going to quick clean my stamp because I want to start with my first color, which is actually going to be lighter, and that's So Saffron. Okay, so I cleaned my stamp quick. I'm going to use my So Saffron ink on here, and I'm just going to stamp across about 2/3 of the way up. Okay, and I got a little fuzz on my stamp, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp across here like that. And overlapping is just fine. Okay, then what I'm going to do is, once again, clean my stamp. And I'm going to try, I'm going to do the next row in my polished pink ink. And for this, ink this up well, and we're going to kind of offset the circles. So I'm going to start off the edge a little bit more here. Okay, and I'm just kind of building up another border, and I love the look of that. The colors kind of blend together to create more color. And then I'm going to add one more row, this time in Magenta Madness, which I love. Now this color is really similar, so I'm not actually going to clean my stamp. I'm kind of a rebel that way. And then once again, we're going to offset those circles and then just build across, and look at how awesome this design is with those colors. It's so pretty. It's almost like summer on there. Okay, now I'm going to give this just a second to dry because I don't want the ink to bleed, especially when we stamp our sentiment on there. Okay, because this is a lot of ink that we've just put on this panel. All right, now I want to also, I forgot to cut my piece of black to go on here. And this piece is, let me pull out my handy dandy ruler here. This piece is 4 by 2 3/4. So I want 4 1/8 by 2 7/8 panel of black. 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so I can, this panel will layer right on there so nicely. Ooh, I love that pop. The black really makes everything kind of pop up, especially when we add our sentiment. Now I'm going to stamp that in some Stays On ink because I really want it to be nice and vivid and vibrant on top of my background that I've stamped. So we're going to ink this up really well, and we'll stamp it down right over the top. Okay, oh, perfect. Then what I'm going to do is take some of my new Most Fabulous ribbon. This is the black gingham ribbon. It's going to be in our new July to December mini catalog, which actually starts on August 3rd. And we'll position this on here like so, and then tie a little bit of ribbon on here. And oh my gosh, this ribbon is the best. Oh, this ribbon just rocks. I'm very excited about it. Can you tell? Okay. We'll cut a length of that and just tie a knot onto our card. And then we're going to pop this up onto our polished pink card base that we prepped earlier. Now, of course, this card design you could do in all kinds of color combinations. I think it'd be really fun to play with different colors, see how they kind of mix together to form new colors, and just have fun with it. It's such a easy, simple card to create. Okay, we'll pop this up. And then we've got two amazing cards that came together really pretty quickly, which I love when that happens. Now, don't forget, Sale-a-bration round 2 starts on August 3rd. And when you shop my online store, you can become a VIP. I've got all kinds of awesome perks for my VIP members, and I would love to welcome you to my VIP program. When your order reaches $50, I also send gifts. Who doesn't like gifts? If you have any questions, of course, about either of these cards, don't hesitate to ask. And if you would like some inspiration featuring this new amazing Sale-a-bration catalog and July to December holiday catalog, please join my new catalog kickoff. I'll put a link in the description of this video for you. It is going to be 2 weeks jam-packed full of fun. And we would love to have you be a part of that group. Everything gets started on the 3rd, so join us for some amazing fun. Thanks so much, friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.